everyone. I'm so glad you're joining me and watching this video. I'm sure it's going to educate many young ladies and men out there who have yet to learn the art of ironing. I'm so excited to share with you where the inspiration for this video came from. I was recently a speaker in California at an entrepreneurial event, and when I had the one-on-one with the students, I was learning that the common denominator I kept hearing was, I don't have a business idea, I don't know what to do to make money, I'm broke, I need income, blah, 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 blah. So I shared with them something that I learned years ago, and I actually share with a lot of my audiences, and that is that desperation leads to innovation and motivation. And I know that's catchy and that's a cool name, and I like it as well, but the reality is if you are broke and you're not doing anything about it, you're not motivated enough. So you're not desperate. Therefore, the innovation has not yet come to you. I'll give you an example. So I was in a small group coaching one of the young ladies in the group, and she was giving me what all young millennials, or I shouldn't say all, most young millennials say, and that is, you know, Tana, where do I get money? How do I get money? I'm just not willing to work for nothing, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, are you willing to do whatever it takes to put food on the table? And she's like, well, sure. And I go, well, I have an idea for you. Have you ever thought of this? And so she said, what? And I said, do you know how to iron? She's like, iron? No, I don't know how to iron. And I said, I'm going to give you a tip. So I'm going to teach y'all how to iron, but that's the sidebar. The reality is a long time ago, when I was a little thing in high school, I guess middle school, no, high school, I would get in trouble a lot because I was a very high energy child. I know that's probably hard for you to imagine for those of you who know me and or follow me, but I had a lot of energy. I was looking for something to do, and I had a tendency to bother my younger brother and my sisters, and so I would get on my mother's nerves quite a bit. And so she would say, you know, she'd want to put me to work because I had all this energy. And so my father was a traveling salesman, and he wore a dress shirt every day that he worked. And so my mother would have a pile, I repeat, like a pile of dress shirts laying around that my father needed ironed. So my mother would wash them, put them in a pile, and when she could get to them, she would iron them. Well, when I was bad, guess what? I was the ironer. So my mother would put me on the task of go iron Dad's shirts. And so the shirts were like all in a big old pile, which sucked because that meant more wrinkles. And she'd say, you know, get through 15 shirts. Well, 15 shirts, when you open up a shirt and you realize this thing's got a lot of wrinkles, it's got a lot of crevices, it's got French cuffs, this is going to be a nightmare. I needed to know how to iron. So, as all good mothers do, my mother taught me the art of ironing. And I've realized that a lot of young gals and guys don't know how to iron. So let's get to the ironing part. Let me tell you as we're going what I encourage this gal to do and where my brilliant idea came from, I don't know, 25 years ago. So for any of you out there watching, this is a business idea that I think would really take off. So this is what you got to do to iron. You got to get an iron, that's hot. You also got to get some spray starch. This is a lifesaver, cuts down on ironing, probably your time in half. You gotta have some water because if this guy, the iron, is dry, he doesn't work as well. Be careful, very hot. So for a lot of shirts, hell, when I was doing the shirts for my dad, I'd get up to 32 ounces because we're gonna be ironing a lot. But for one shirt, let's just start with 8 ounces. So we put the water in the hole in the back of the iron, fill that up. We're starting to see some steam come out, and that's a good thing. Steam is good. So fill that up. It starts to show that it's at the tippy top, so we're going to pause. We're going to let that go. We're going to push this over to the side, and we are going to start with our shirt. So you want to start with the collar, okay? So put the collar down. That's a heck of a mess, ton of wrinkles. It's going to be a lot of work. So let's get our spray. Always shake it. Spray it down. You can go liberal. Very generous, I should say, on that. I don't like the word liberal. Go very generous on that. It's not expensive and it really helps. See the steam? So do I. Okay, iron the heck out of the collar. The collar is very important because you're going to want to make sure that that thing lays nice and flat. Okay? So what you're gonna do is, I always like to get to the corners because that could be a little tricky if it doesn't lay properly. Okay, we did the one side, flip it over. Now we're gonna do this side. I don't think we need to spray this side because I can tell that it's coming out very, very nice. So look at, see, you don't want to do that. Now you make more work. Okay, so we've got the collar down. We're getting somewhere. We're like 1/8 of the shirt done. Okay, now you get to the back. The back of the shirt has got this little line, seam, just guess what we call it. And you see this guy here? That's a nice pleat. We got to be careful on him. So what we're going to do, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to go this way. We're going to lay the shirt nice and flat. You can smell that steam. That's good. Put your iron-on cotton. So that's what the shirt is. It's got different settings. Polyester, I don't think people wear that anymore, but who cares? Okay, so you want to iron. Now my collar's staying up nice and straight. Now we're going to spray this top of the shirt. And this is where you really want to get in here nice. Oh, I'd love to hear that. Then you know it's working. And you really get in here nicely and work away. So I want to tell you whose shirt this is and why I am ironing this shirt. I'm ironing this shirt because my husband is a businessman. He's a chief meteorologist at our local television station. And he usually waits until the last minute to take his shirts in, which is like common. I would do the same thing. And he took his shirts in and they said that they couldn't, that the machine broke, couldn't have his shirts for a whole week. Well, he couldn't go without the shirt, so he called me and goes, you know of another dry cleaner? And I said, bring him home. Let me do him. Oh, he says, no, you're too busy. Your time is too valuable. I said, bring him home. I want to do it because when you iron a shirt for somebody that you love, you feel a sense of pride because you know that back in the day, my father would wear the shirts, and now my husband's going to wear this shirt. So I'm going to put a lot of love into the shirt because my love is going to wear it. So that just makes it a little more extra special because, you know, you care about doing the shirt right. Now see that? That's not good. That's a nice big wrinkle right there. We're going to have to go over that, but it doesn't bother me too bad because he'll have that part tucked in. So really want to concentrate on getting all the wrinkles out, which is, this is coming along very nicely. Getting up to the top. Now we're already at the part that the ironing board doesn't reach very well because we flipped it over and did the front side. And so we just keep going like this. There's that wrinkle that I hate, but as I mentioned, we're not going to see that one. So I'm not going to be a perfectionist and try to get it out, even though you'll probably see me come back to it a few times. But I'm not going to obsess over that. So as I was at this event, I was talking to this young gal, and I found out that she lives in a neighborhood that's loaded with young professionals and businessmen. And I asked her, does she know how to iron? She said no. She didn't even know if her family owned an iron because her mother and father both work. They both wear dress shirts, and she knew that they took their stuff to the dry cleaner. And I said, well, honey, this is an art that people aren't doing anymore. Hence why the dry cleaners are so damn busy that their machines broke because they're working on so many shirts. So I told her that I pay, my husband pays, and her parents probably pay $2.50 to get one of these shirts cleaned. Now remember back in the day when I used to do 15 shirts of my father's, or my husband had 10 white shirts to go to the dry cleaner? That's $25 just to have somebody else do this job. So if you ask yourself, and I asked the girl, what's your time worth? Well, her time wasn't worth anything because she was a young 22-year-old, just graduated college, can't find work. What's your time worth? Well, when you don't have a job, your time's worth nothing. So I told her that she could start a business where she would do the ironing for people like myself, my husband, her parents, that if it was marketed properly, people like us, I'd rather give her my pile of 20 shirts. My husband, sometimes I've got a few of my sons if he stays the night. I've got my dress shirts. She could make a killing. She could make easily $50 off of our family in a week. Well, she didn't know if she wanted to do that. I said, is it because you don't know how to iron? Because I'm going to make a video teaching people how to iron. And she said, well, no, I have a college degree. I should be worth more than that. And I said, I agree, but you're not right now. So get a start. So for all you know, learning how to iron, taking the iron, I'm not taking the ironing board on the road, but doing this, marketing this well could be a new business. So once again, her desperation, if she really was desperate, could lead to the innovation of, I don't know, I haven't thought of the name for her, but I could in 5 minutes if I wasn't ironing and doing a video for you guys. But you're motivated by desperation, and then that's when the great ideas come. So what I used to like to do when I had my dad's pile of 15 shirts, you know, you look at that on a Saturday afternoon and you think, I want to be outside. This is going to take me forever. So I would always put the timer on how long it took me to do my first shirt. Typically, with all the, you know, turns, and we haven't even gotten to the French cuff, folks, but with all the turns and all the crevices in this shirt, and sometimes the iron isn't hot enough, and sometimes you're out of spray, and that's a nightmare. Back in the day when I was ironing, we probably didn't even have spray. Back in the day, I don't know if we had spray or not, but spray is not expensive, and it's definitely well worth it. But it would take me about 7 minutes to do a shirt. 7 minutes times 15, that's an hour and, let's just say an hour and a half for easy math. I'm not doing the math right now either. That's a long time. So then what I would do is set the timer, and I would try to get a shirt done in under 5 minutes. Well, if you can get your shirt done in 5 minutes and you can charge $250, you can blow out shirts in no time. You can blow out 5 shirts in 25 minutes, 6 shirts in half an hour. You're making some good money. So I would be very, very curious to see if any of you young millennials out there, or if you're like me and was a go-getter in high school and middle school, there's no reason why, if you learn how to iron just from Tana's video here, which is quite simple, that you couldn't start an ironing business, because this is a lost art. This is a trade that I think would be very valuable to any Gallard girl watching, actually, or any stay-at-home mom, any retired person that wants to make a little extra income. There's no reason why anybody couldn't pick this up and market this and have themselves a business. So, getting back to the shirt, now we're getting on the very tricky parts, which are, we want the front flap where the buttons are to lay very, very flat, as well as the pocket to show no signs of any wrinkles, because that's what's going to be seen. My father didn't have to wear a suit jacket every day, so his shirt was very important that his shirt had all the wrinkles out of it. Now, where my husband wears a suit jacket every day on TV with this white shirt shining and showing through underneath. So it's not as imperative that I get the pocket as well as my father's, but regardless, I don't want to give my husband a shirt that doesn't look great. Okay, so now with the sleeve. The sleeve is the part that I really always hated the most. The sleeve you're going to want to lay flat, and you can feel in there that there's lumps and bumps. You want to get that out and make that lay just right. This is a French cuff. For those of you who don't know what that is a shirt that you put cufflinks on. So this is also tricky. Let's just take this in steps. First step, spray the hell out of it. Because once again, we're not trying to save money right now. We're just trying to get this thing done. I like to start center of the shirt, of the sleeve, and work up. This is coming up very, very, very nicely. Okay, now we're going to turn and work towards the cuff. Pulling as you go helps release any wrinkles that are wanting to set in. And this is coming out absolutely beautifully as well. Okay, now, because this is tricky, we want to lay this guy flat. And I like to just set the iron on here, being careful not to burn the shirt, and press. And you got to really put some muscle into it. As you can see, I'm not just playing around here. I'm getting after it. You get in there and you push like it's your job, because it probably will be. If you're the young millennial girl that I told you I'd make this for, Amber, this is for you. Now you flip it over Oh, it's so pretty. Now we spray the other side. We necessarily don't need to go on this because this is all very, very nice. And we work it on this end. Another little tip that I learned the hard way, cost my dad a shirt, was don't paint your nails before ironing because the heat from the steam and the iron makes the heat from the fingernail polish come off on the nice white shirt, costing your family $85. You could get an ass whipping for that if your parents didn't have the money. We don't want anybody to get an ass whipping. Okay, so we got that. Now, if you really want to get technical, and I don't think we do for the purposes of the video, oh, that's hot. Turn that guy over. Well, let's do it. You turn it over to where it would fold at his wrist, tuck it in, and you just hold it. Just hold it, and voila, it's all ready for him. Now, we're going to do the other sleeve, and we're going to be done. So, I hope that I helped educate a few of you who didn't know how to iron, or I reignited the passion in those of you who love to iron. It's kind of fun if you don't have much else going on, and if you don't have to worry about where you got to be, and time is not of the essence. With me, I don't usually do this a lot for my husband just because I'm super busy and with my business, and he understands how valuable my time is. So to him, he doesn't mind taking them to the dry cleaners, but it's very expensive, and our dry cleaning bill is maybe $50 a week, and that adds up if you're on a budget. So this came out really, really, really nice. Very excited. We'll just flip it over, spray this side, and as you do it, you know, you're always making sure that you're not messing up your work as you go. Once again, I know you all want to see that again. Get after it. No room for wimps when you're ironing. This side looks like I missed a little wrinkle there. Was busy concentrating on you guys that I failed to do the smooth down. And then the last step, fold it to where it would hit his wrist, line it up, which is perfect. Once again, don't paint your nails before you do it. Hold it, don't take phone calls, don't do videos, just kidding. Don't forget that you've got the iron on the shirt. Voila. Now, to be a true professional, you definitely want to get some wire hangers. I don't really know where you buy these, but this could be an easy Amazon thing. Or if your parents have a whole bunch of them in their closet like we do, you know, grab about 50 of them and start your business with 50 hangers. It costs you nothing. So you're going to want to tuck down that shirt collar. Always button the first button, which I did. And then you want to line that shirt up just perfectly on the hanger, so that it looks like something that you would be proud to say you did. So I just wanted to share with you guys how easy it is to iron, how this could be a business if you're that desperate. Remember, desperation leads to innovation and motivation. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share it with all the millennials that you know. Put it on your Facebook page, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hey Tana TV. Until next time.